A very good evening, Zimbabwe. This is Studio 7 Live Talk. I'm Marvelous Mhlanga-Nyahuye. We are at the Women's RoundTable, where we are pre-recording a session for all our live talkers out there. This is June the 3rd on Thursday, 2021. I'm Marvelous Mhlanga-Nyahuye, broadcasting from my home in Washington, D.C.
And I'm Sithandegile Mhlanga here in Washington, D.C. Today we'll be looking at a number of issues. Top on the list, the COVID-19, where the government today says there are 39,031 confirmed cases since the outbreak of the coronavirus last year. But amongst these, there are 36,661 recoveries.
Yes, Star, and we see that the government has also embarked on the second phase of the immunization program currently underway. And, you know, there has been news coming in that when some people go in to get the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, some of them are not having any luck. So we'll be looking at some of these issues involving the COVID-19 vaccine. Let's take a listen to what one doctor in Mashonaland West had to say about the COVID-19 vaccine situation in the country.
Zimbabwe ine vaccine 3 Sinovac neCovax. Zvakaita ndezvekuti vanhu vaibaiwa vakasiyana-siyana mafirst dose nemasecond dose. Semenza munhu anobaiwa first dose muno muchino paanozosvika abaiwa second dose anenge akubaiwa kwarara. Saizvozvo zvinoita shortage because munhu aibaiwa kwanga asina kuwana first dose yake. Sazvaireva kuti wakabaiwa first dose ukwakubaiwa second dose vanoshoterwa nemushonga. Saka tinoona kuti mishonga yevaccine neSinovac kushoterwa nesecond dose. Ndosaka takamira kubaya vanhu first dose yeCovax neSinovac. Asi news dzatinadzo ndezekuti Sinopharm tanayo kupa maclinics edu kuti vaya vanobaiwa first dose iripo Sinopharm vanokwanisa kuenda mumaclinic nepachipatara pedu kubaiwa first dose yavo iri Sinopharm. Sezvo tine yakawanda isikushota dzedzimwe dzataura.
We're hearing there from a doctor in Mashonaland West talking about the COVID vaccine situation in the country. Is what we were talking about earlier on. Star, he's actually just explaining that, you know, the situation, according to him, is that when people go and get the COVID-19 vaccine, sometimes they then go to a different location to the one that they started off. So they're finding out that in some of those locations, the COVID-19 vaccine, especially the second dose, has been in short supply.
Yes, this is, the government says to date, 682,242 people have been fully vaccinated. And yes, today we did speak to Mr. Tinashe Gumbo of Harare. He said he was also turned away in many hospitals and clinics there. Amongst them are Parirenyatwa, Hatfield, and Wilkins. But he says actually traveled to his rural home today. In Berengo. That's where he managed to get the first dose. It's a clinic there in Berengo, and he was assured that he should come for his second dose. But we saw today President Mnangagwa at the launch of the Bulawayo Arts Festival, assuring Zimbabweans that the government will avail enough COVID-19 vaccines. The government does not necessarily say that there is a shortage. They are talking of redistributing to centers. They are talking of vaccines being there. So President Mnangagwa today said, yes, everyone will get a vaccine, those who need it. And he was actually repeating the same words he said yesterday at the Politburo meeting, that the government is doing all it can to make sure that there are enough vaccines for the country.
Yes, Star, that's very interesting there. When you talk about the president actually opening the Bulawayo Arts Festival, it would be interesting to find out what the situation was like, you know, in terms of the COVID-19 regulations and, you know, the issue of crowds. But if we remember back, Kwekwe is still in lockdown. So I spoke to somebody, one of our listeners from Jishavane, who was saying that they are a little bit afraid because they are near Kwekwe, that, you know, maybe some of the people that are coming from Kwekwe to Jishavane might be bringing back the strain from India. So those are some of the fears that people have been expressing on some of our other programs and stuff.
Yes, and we hope our guests will be joining us shortly. Marv, one is written to me. If you can check, I've inboxed you something. But kulabo abasanda ukusikhasa lamhlanje ngolwesine nje mhla 3 kuNhlangula 2021 lamhlanje ke sicubungula ekuningi sikhangela njalo lokuphathelane le COVID-19. Yebo ke lapho ke siyabe sikhangela ke ukuthi sikhuluma nje uhulumende uthi yena sebefika phose inkulungwane ezingamachumi amane 39,031 bona ke abathi asebehlaselwe ligcikwane le COVID-19 selokho ke laqhamukayo ngomnyaka odluleyo. Alabo ke kodwa isikho ukuthi yibo bonke phela labo abalokho belithwele leli gcikwane, abanye njalo sebasila, njalo ke lapho sikhangela ke abantu abayi 36,661 ukuthi ukuthi mhlawumbe bazenkulungwane ezimbili kumbe ezintathu kuphela bona labo abalokho belithwele leli gcikwane. Njalo uhulumende uthi selokho laqhamukayo leli gcikwane selibulele abantu abazinkulungwane lengxenye yenkulungwane i-1,599 kodwa phela asebehlatshiwe umjovo lo okwenqabela i-COVID-19 okuthiwa i-vaccine ngesilungu sebeyi-682,242. Yebo ke sikhuluma inkulungwane amakhulu ayedlula inkulungwane eziyisithupha lapho asebehlabile, ngesikhathi abanye besithi abafinyeleli ijekiseni le yokwenqabela i-COVID-19. Abanye bathi bafika ezibhedlela betshela ukuthi hayi iyasilela, ngakho ke bazohamba ke bayihlatshwa kwezinye indawo. Ngeke ngatsho ke ukuthi sike saxoxa lo mnumzana Tinashe kumbe wena kweHarare uthi bamtheka yikho eParire Nyathwa, bathi ayikho eWilkins kumaviki edluleyo singazi lamhlanje, bathi ayikho eHatfield, waze waya khona lekibo eMberengwa eklinikhi khona lapha afike athola khona lo mjovo ubethabile. Lamhle sithi estudio 7 yenza wakhuthala ukuthi adingi ukuhlatshwa lokhu njengoba sithona sikhuluma ngalo lolu daba isikhathi esiningi. Sizakhuluma labanye njalo abesifazana abaphatheke ngehlelo ezitshiyeneyo lapha sizabona sesilabo, yikho ke lapho esizalithulela khona ezinye inhlelo eziphathelane labesifazana ngalesi isikhathi. Yebo ke marvelous. Yebo ke engabuyi ke umarvelous ke sikhangela ukuthi sithemba labahlonitshwa bethu bazaba ineliso ukuba sebekhona. Yebo ke marvelous.
Aiwa kunavo vachangobva kupinda muchirongwa chedu tinokuchingamidza ine mufaro nhasi musi wechina June 3 2021 apo nhasi tiri kutarisa isu pamusoro penyaya yedenda rechirwere cheCOVID-19 tichitarisa zvakare mabasa ari kubatwa nemadzimai akasiyana-siyana. Tichange zvakare tiine munyarikani vanobva ivo kunyaya yatakaona ichiitika padandemutande yekuPan Africanist Parliament. Saka tichange tichikurukura navo muzvare Barbara Rwodzipo pano tichaedza kuti tivabate vapinde muchirongwa vachitiudza kuti zvakafamba sei zvatakaona zvichiitika. Regai timboridza vhidhiyo tichiona kuti zvii zvanga zviri kuitika.
Seeing any security coming to our aid.
No elections are going to take place yet. And therefore, the AU must come and intervene. No elections.
No elections. No rotation, no elections. No rotation, no elections. No rotation, no
What is going? Hey.
Yes. We will
What
have
is
this
it
election.
sincerely? Huh? How can one person do this? Huh?
Point of order. She shouldn't fight in the chamber. She shouldn't shout in the. She shouldn't fight in the chamber.
Lutar na cama. Isto é.
Behaving.
Here, we didn't come here to see a fight. Please call the police. Please call the police to put an order. Please call the police.
Police, yes.
Please call the police to put an order here. It is urgent. You should call the police. Please call the police. Please. Oh.
Nonsense. You will not force an election on us.
How people can come and take the ballot?
No, what is the Secretary General saying? Clerk of Parliament, can you adjourn this session?
Lapho ke besizwa lesikhangeleke okwenzakala edale leParliament ye South Africa ke i-Pan African Parliament ke beke kwaba lengxabangxoza eke yaqhamuka ke lapho abantu bedonselana ibhokisi lokuvota njalo sibonile ukuthi abangamazwe angezansi yeAfrica ama-Southern African countries abesithi kuzophiswana okuthiwa i-rotational ku-presidency lapho ukuthi osaphethe isikhundla ke laye atshintshe kube ngomunye kungabi kuphatha abakwezinye izizwe kuphela. Lapha ke besile uhlupho lokuthi asenelisi ukuthi abanye abahlonitshwa bethu babuye lapha ecingweni. Ngakho ke kathesi ke sichayele ucingo ke unkosikazi Victory Mathutu ngoba bengenelisi ukuthi bengene ngomfanekiso. Siyakwamukela ke kuhlelo Nkosazana Mathutu. Yes, it's unfortunate you couldn't get in through the video, but we'll soon put up your picture so that abantu bakwazi ukuthi kathi bakhuluma lobani ngempela. Yebo ke siyabona ukuthi kathi sisikhuluma ngesikhathi se-COVID kuyini okwenzakala khona ngapho ke eMzansi yeAfrika.
eMzansi Afrika kuthiwa i-COVID isibuye back sesiku-third wave. So kusho ukuthi i-COVID besinganuhlile izinyanga lezi ezidlulileyo kodwa I think for the past 2 weeks ngathi isikhuphukile njalo sesiku-third wave lapha eMzansi Afrika ikakhulu eGauteng.
Kodwa ngizwa abanye bethaba ukuthi hayi akuvalwanga izitolo zonke lani bengenelisa labo ukuthi abantu lokho besenelisa ukuthi besebenze lapha endaweni eziningi lapha abasebenza khona ezinjengama-restaurant lezinye. Ngakho ke abantu akubathathelanga phela inhlelo zabo lendlela yokuziphilisa.
Khona kunjalo ngempela abantu abathathelwanga imisebenzi yabo lendlela zokuziphilisa. Umongameli weSouth Africa ngicabanga ukuthi uvele wathi ukuthi umuntu azivikele kuleli gciwane sosezandleni zakho umuntu. Ngoba ngicabanga ukuthi ukuvalwa ukuthi ilizwe livalwe lithatha njengalokho bekwenzeka bekuhlasela kakhulu ku-economy, abantu beswele imisebenzi, gcine abantu beswela nokuthi baziphilise. So ngicabanga ukuthi yebo khona igciwane selimemetheke ngamandla sesiku-third wave, kodwa akuvalwanga. Kupho kuthiwa nje siku-alert level 2 kwehliswa nje izikhathi zokuthi abantu beqala ukuhamba nokuthi bagcine ukuhamba nokunye nje lokho hhayi okunzima ukuthi abantu belokhu besesimeni sokuthi bengaya emsebenzini kodwa bezinakekela.
Nxa libheka lapho abantu ukuthi baziphatha njani, libona abantu lokhu belandela yini iziqondiso zokuthi benqabele ukumemetheka kwaleli gciwane, lokhu begqoka yini amamasi bengasondelelani konke, liyakubona lokho?
Kunzima yazi abantu angithi yazi ngendaba le ye-COVID abantu bahlukene kakhulu ngembono. Bakhona abanye abantu abangela ndaba lapho ukuthi kule COVID loba kayikho, abaseselakho ukuthi bekwazi behambe bengafakanga imaski kumbe nje behlale bengaqhelelani njengalokho okuthiwayo. Kodwa iningi labantu impela siyababona amamaski sebehlala bewafakile ngoba lo hulumende uyagqugquzela ukuthi abantu abahlale befaka amamaski, kakhulu umuntu uma ephumisa iya ku-public kumele afake imaski. Yebo abanye bayayifaka beyothi sifake isiyevile, omunye ayifake esikhwameni, kodwa enginanzeleleyo ukuthi abantu abaningi bayefaka imaski. Okunye futhi angicabanga ukuthi kuzayenza ukuthi bayangane bayethuka bafake imaski khona ukuthi izinga lokukhuphuka kwe-COVID lapha selingani selikhuphukile. Abantu beselingani seberelaxile isikhathi sokunganayo, izibalo ziyehlile, izibalo ziyehlile. Manje lokho ziqala ukukhuphuka, ngicabanga ukuthi abantu abaningi sebebona ukuthi ngokuphela futhi sokuphinda kusiphinda njalo sebawafaka mpela amamaski. Ikakhulu abantu bamateksini, uma ungena eteksini usithola ukuthi hhayi iteksi igcwele, abantu bonke abaseteksini bawafakile amamaski. Lokhu siyangena nje emamolu akungeni wawungelayo imaski. So ngicabanga ukuthi abantu bayazinakekela loba nje abanye befosa, kodwa iningi labantu liyazinakekela.
Yebo-ke, hhayi kuhle ukuzwa lokho. Abantwana-ke ezikolo khathesi kuhamba njani? Bavulile kumbe bafunda besemakhaya?
Abantwana izikolo umongameli akazivalanga izikolo ngempelasonto ma esethula umbiko esizweni. Akazivalanga izikolo ziyaqhubeka ziyasebenza. Loba nje kungathi leli gciwane libonakala limemetheka kakhulu ezikolo. Ongeke kumangalisi ma kungathiwa isikolo zizake zike zivalwe kancane, kodwa kwamanje isikolo zisavuliwe ezinye, loba nje abanye abantwana besahamba mhlawumbe kabili kumbe kathathu ngeviki, kodwa basaya esikolweni.
Abantu ubona ingani lokhu besemukela yini umjovo lo obenqabela i-COVID-19 we-vaccine, njengoba kwake kwaba lokwethuka mbijana laphana izimiso kwesikhatshana Johnson & Johnson, abantu besithi mhlawumbe ababaza kuvala ezinye izinyalo ezizabathwalisa nzima futhi.
Ngicabanga ukuthi manje eSouth Africa kusesigabeni sokuthi ijekiseni le ihlatshwa abantu aba-60 years langaphezulu kwe-60 years. Ngokubona kwami ngibona abantu abaningi ngike ngahambela esibhedlela eJohannesburg lapha ngabona hhayi abantu abaningi abadala baningi impela bonke belayinile ukuthi behlatshwe le njekiseni. Ukungani kuyathikamezeka kwe-Johnson & Johnson kwaba yenza abantu bangathi bayehla umdlandla wokufuna ukuhlatshwa. Kodwa ngicabanga ukuthi manje kuthiwe hhayi akuhlatshwa i-Johnson & Johnson kuhlatshwa le Pfizer. Ngathi mhlawumbe abantu bacabanga ukuthi hhayi le ekhona manje ingcola le kade ikhona. Loba nje uhulumende ugqugquzela ukuthi la i-Johnson & Johnson ayikho kangako elabo, kodwa abantu ngicabanga ukuthi bahlaba kakhulu manje ngoba zitshela ukuthi hhayi akusiyo i-Johnson & Johnson ehlatshwa kwamanje.
Yebo-ke kuyezwakala. Siyabonga uhlale khonapho ecingweni saphenduka kuwe. Marvelous today we heard Victor Smatuti of Zim Impokoto updating us of the COVID situation in South Africa, you know, as they've moved, as they've tightened again the screws on COVID. But she's saying she's also noting that people are still vigilant. Some still wear the mask, some still try to, you know, prevent. Why is the elderly still turning up, you know, for vaccination, despite the scare? You know, there was a temporary scare on the Johnson & Johnson when it was suspended. Yes. But people are still receiving that vaccine. Over to you.
Interesting there. Thank you so much, Star. kuna vachangobva kupinda muchirongwa tanga tiri kutaura apo namuzvare Victress Matutu vari kutaura ivo mamiriro akaita zvinhu kuSouth Africa, vachitaura ivo kuti pari zvino zvinhu kunyange hazvo vanhu vari kunyanya kutya vanga vari kumbotya nyaya yemavaccination kana kuti nyaya yekubayiwa nhomba. Pari zvino vanhu vanenge vava kubuda vachienda kunobayiwa nhomba, uyezve vari kuti ivo vanhu vari kuramba vachiteedzera nyaya iya yekupfeka mamaski, social distancing nezvimwe zvakadaro panyaya yekurwisa denda reCovid-19. Asi tisati taenderera mberi, regai timbounza munyarikani wedu wekutanga ipo pano pachirongwa. Tinokuchingamidzai nemufaro wakadiko.
Hello sister, muri right?
Aiwa, tiri right stereki. Vamwe vangada kuziva kuti ndiani kwava vapinda pachirongwa. Isu tokuzivai muchiita zvekuimba kudhara, muchiita maperformance nezvimwe zvakadaro, asi mazuva pane zvimwe zvamakubata. Taurai zita renyu nezita rekambani yenyu uyezve kuti zvii zvamakubata mazuva ano.
Ini ndinonzi Loveness Wesa. Ndiri muimbi, ndichiri kungoimba, ndinotamba, ndichiri kungotamba ndichingodaro. And also ndinorapa. I don't know kuti ndoti kurapa here, but ndinobatsira vanhu ndishandisa inonzi God's hand, and ndichidzidzisa vanhu kuti vagonewo kuzvirapa. Sorry, Shona, ndanditaura in a long time, but ndichiratidzawo vanhu kuti you can heal yourself, unogona kuzvirapa wega. You know, udi mushonga, it doesn't need mushonga kana kuti kutsvaga doctor kana uine zvinenge zvichikunetsa, unogona kutozvirapa wega nekubatsira vamwewo mumba mako. Vana kuchikoro vasingaiti zvakanaka kuchikoro, unogona kutovabatsirawo futi. Chero whatever it is chaunenge uchirwadzwa nacho, chirwere, zvinhu zvokuti madoctors, the things they cannot do, unogona kuzvibatsira wega. Ndikuona vanhu vachitobuda mumakoma, vanhu vaine macancers, vanhu vane zvinhu zvakatowanda vachibuda munyaya iyi. Saka this is what I do now. Ndiri kudzidzisa vanhu all over the world. Asi ndiri kungoshandisa music yangu, ndichiimba, ndichipinda mustage, ndichiimba masongs anenge achirapa. You know, like for example, song ya God or Jesus inotorapa. Kuti song ya Jesus kana kuti yaMwari irape, unofanira kubatsira kugadzira moyo wako first. You have to fix something. You have to strengthen yourself. Meditation, you know, uchiita deep uchiburitsa zvinhu zvakawanda zvokuti haungati ndiri kuda kubatsira vanhu apo uri kuenda unotaura zvakawanda zvisina kunaka about other people. Unoburitsa zvinonzi negativity, uchiunza positive vibration and frequency in your life, in every aspect of your life. Zokuti kana uri munhu uchiti nzara yatibaya mazuva ano atizvi zvokuita, unotoburitsa all negativity, zvinhu zvisina kunaka, unotoburitsa. Mwari ndibatsirei, every day unongogara uchingofunga hako zvinhu zviri love, and uchiti Mwari isisu hatina nzara isi, nokuti imi Mwari munogona kutipa, munogona kutotibatsira, imi Mwari munogona kutotirapa. Every day if you are concentrating on that, things can happen, but it takes practice. But this is what I teach, and I download what's called divine healing hands on people. Ndinokupa divine healing hands yacho nokuti chipo chandakapiwa naMwari. Ndikuti Mwari ndainamata every day. Mwari ndoda kuti ndiitewo zvaitawo naJesus. Ndoda kuti ndiitewo zvaitawo naJesus, mamiracles aitwa naJesus. If they are still possible today, ndokumbirawo kuti mundipewo chipo ichocho. Ndinobatsirawo vanhu kumusha. Kwandakauya kuAmerica ndakasiya kuZimbabwe zvinhu zvisina kumira zvakanaka. Time yachona yeAIDS yaitouraya vanhu, saka ndaneta kuona hama dzangu dzichifa. Ndikati Mwari, kana chipo chamakapa Jesus chichiri available, ndokumbira mundipewo chipo ichocho. So that's the chipo chandiri kuona kuti ndakachipiwa, a miracle healing hand, zvokuti kana ukapa munhu chero ari kupi, you don't have to be there. Saka ndiri kuita every day online, ndiri kubatsira vanhu Facebook, Zoom, vanhu vari kukola over the phone. Mama wangu ari mumakoma, ndibatsirewo kuSouth Africa, wherever. Ndiri kuningirira mufoni vanhu ndichivabatsira, and it doesn't mean kuti ndinoti ndikakupa ningirikiri unobva right away. Zvinoitika is according to Mwari. Inini, I'm not the one. Power is not mine. Inini, what I do is I have to be in a space yokuti I can receive what God is giving. When I'm in a very good space, everything that buritsawo zvisina kunaka mumandiri, ndichiti Mwari ndibatsire munhu uyu. Mwari kazhinji kacho Mwari anobatsira. Sometimes instant, sometimes it can take days, sometimes it can take weeks. A good example is Semu amenokuti Semu wamtukuzi drama wamtukuzi drama akauya kuno ku Portland, Oregon, akaita stroke. Zoti madoctors vaitofunga uyu anotogara months ku hospital uyu. Ndakadienda ikoko within a few days ndakaenda ikoko. Within a week anga kutokwanisa kufamba kusimuka akuita macrash. Anga ari paralyzed the whole thing. Muromo uyu wanga wakadai ruoko everything zasingashandi, left foot and every body ukuyanga isingashandi same. Nchinda ndinomubatsira kuchipatara ko 2 hours away ndeienda ndikamubatsira in 2 weeks angabuda muchipatara. That's one good example. Pane zvakawanda miracles akawanda yekuti if you follow me you can see or hear what's happening. So I'm here to help vanhu vese vanenge who are challenged ku Zimbabwe, all over the world, and nakuti uyu ndo kwedu uyu ndo kupi chipo cha Mwari ndechemunhu wese chinopiwa munhu wese. Of course it's not free because it's my time.
Yeah,
but kazhinji kacho vanhu vazhinji ndobabatsira for free. Then chibabatsira for free kazhinji kacho kuti ava vanadzi mari. But as time goes on, apana also free, then you want it to thank you and it and then asaka and then is another thing and a festival. And do it my festival series. Same musician was a performer and do it my festival series and do it online. What happens is in Druguti Munu Awie cannot it live, it's okay, but usually it's not we are Muzum. Hundreds of people, hopefully chaita 1,000 soon. Usually for free, and then wona uchi performer unenge uripo performer unenge uripo vanhu vachikuona video rako rawa performer wakutaura nezve video rako, and this has been going really well. We are doing them every month. Last every 3 weeks. Last week we did Zimbabwe and India. Very amazing stuff. High top performers. You know, we had Iasa from Bulawayo. We had Jace Maravini, who just produced a song in Onzi, Ja Deliver, which is taking waves all around the world right now. We had now we have Indo and Sagusa. All these amazing big artists are coming. So this is a calling to all the artists to come and enjoy. When things open, kana COVID, tichaita physical festival. Ndoda kuti muyewo tichaita ku America yedu, but ndoda kuti iko zvino ngatisangane online kana takuvhurika physical ndozo tozoona kuti toita sei Mwari abatsirewo kana tichitawo ma divine healing hands edu Mwari achabatsira zovhurika tosangana tinakidzwa tese.
Maybe let me bring up Star, but my question also was, so do people pay for this service? And are you saying you're a healer, you're a nganga, traditional healer or faith healer? What exactly would you characterize yourself? How would you characterize yourself?
I define my or my healing in a scientific way. It's quantum healing or quantum information system. What happens is when you connect with the information, because Mwari or heaven, it is always pouring information in us. If we are aligned with that information that heaven is pouring upon us, when we're in a true match, we can receive that information. It's like I'm not in Nganga, I'm not in Profita, but sometimes Mwari will give me my visions. Is something from the past, something in the future. You know, but I am a healer. You can call me a spiritual healer. And in science, it's quantum information system. If you want, you can call me a spiritual healer because it's spiritual. The body is just the body. What's speaking is the spirit. The spirit has to be very strong to be able to heal, not just the body. With the body, it takes some mind. Mind alone cannot heal, but the mind, body, and spirit together combined, that's what I use. Combining the soul, the mind, the body together as one, then we can heal. So you can call me a spiritual healer. I don't know about the faith part, but I don't know. It's, you know,
yes,
yeah.
Very interesting there, Loveness. I remember we spoke about it last time in Develop, but I'm sure some people may not have heard you. Yeah, njalo abantu bengasila njani kulokhu la nxa kuyabambeka yini kumbe hayi kusemoyeni.
into engiyenzayo ngayibambeke, it's not tangible. Awungeza ukuthi ngiyayibamba. Nxa usithi kusemoyeni kusho ukuthi kusemoyeni. So ngisebenzisa enguthi ngesilungu yi-quantum information system or quantum information healing system. Nxa umuntu engabuya kumbe athi mina ngilomuntu wami umhlobo wami mina ngiyagula ngilento engihluphayo ngazi ukuthi kuyini, sometimes ngiyakwanisa ukuboniswa. So let's go back ekuqaliseni kwaqalisa njani. Ngisuke eZimbabwe ngingumuntu owayethandaza bengisiya e-church daily, bengiya e-Universal Church ekuseni ngo-6 ngandriver ngiye-church, kuthi ngiye emsebenzini emini nge-lunch ngiye-church ngiyisiyathandaza, ntambama ngiya e-church ngiyathandaza, ngithandazela ukuthi uNkulunkulu encenye ngalapha something, you know, in my family, ifamily yami iyadubeka. So ngabuye e-America, I'm still praying, but i-prayer yami ibitshintsha. Ngithi uNkulunkulu ngicela ukuthi ungincede. Isipho wasinika uJesu esokuthi uJesu wayesithi you are forgiven, abantu babelatshwa. Nxa kuthi uJesu waye real and lawe uNkulunkulu u-real, ngicela ukuthi isipho wawusinike uJesu unginikeze lami, ngizasisebenzisa ngendlela eyakho uNkulunkulu. I will use it in your way. Ngathi mina uNkulunkulu, I want to be a testimony of your existence. I want to be a testimony of your power, your miracles. If you can give me that miracle, I promise I'll use it for good. So I believe God answered me one nigga or divine healing hands. So it's God's hand, literally. Abantu abakwanisa ukubona anti kuthiwa kulama prophet abantu ababonayo nowadays. Babevele bekhona la kudala. So nxa kulomuntu okwazi olaleleyo okwazi ukuthi uyabona, kangikhangele abuze akubuzayo kumbubuza emoyeni kumbubuza ngapi ukuthi into le umama lo ayikhulumayo kuyini la i-real yini, uzabona akubonayo within me. You can see inside of me. I open myself for you to see. I have nothing to hide. You can see in and out of me if you are given the gift of seeing. Ukubona, we have what's called the third eye. We see with an inner eye, spiritual eye. If you are able, you can see. So abantu bayabuya. Ubaba muse hospital ukukoma. Ayebo. Yeah. Okay. So what I do, ngisebenzisa God's hand yam. So nxa ngingayithenanga on, it's not working. But when I turn it on, it works and people get healed. So right now, maybe abantu bengakasuki ngingathi ofuna i-blessing ga open and offer one blessing. And but ungacela ukuthi ngifuna ukuzuza ama millions of dollars, because that it has to be matching, you know, the vibration that you also carry. So enxa nginganikeza i-blessing leyana, and then ungitshele if there is any transformation. And I'm not promising ukuthi kuzaba le transformation, but ungitshele ungabona any transformation, ungayekeli ungitshela kumbe ukubatshela laba abasemsakazweni ukuthi hayi izinto zami ngibona something kuhambe kwathi. So ngisebenzisa uNkulunkulu, what I call love, forgiveness, compassion, light, humility, harmony, and flourishing from the divine also is part of this. We use what I call the 10 greatest qualities of the divine. Flourishing is the quality of the divine. Gratitude and serving others with what you are given by God. Serve unconditionally.
Loveness, if I can just come in there, and we are going to quickly take Miss Barbara Rodzi because she needs to go to a meeting, but we will definitely come back to you. We want to hear about this healing, and if you can perform it for us live, we'll be very, very excited. So please stay.
I would love to offer. Yes.
And then we'll come back to you. For now, we're going to go straight to Miss Barbara Rodzi. Hello, Miss Rodzi.
Yes, hello.
Yes, can you tell us about what happened at the Pan-African meeting that we saw? You were one of the women that were holding one of the ballot boxes. Take us through what happened.
All right. A Pan-African Parliament, the parliament that has been set in 2004 for the Africa Parliament. And every 3 years, the parliament holds its elections for the presidential leadership and the vice president and other bureau positions and committee positions and regional caucus positions. So 2 days ago, on the 31st of May, was the election day for 2021. So the issues that arose during that meeting did not start from where you would have seen the scenes that you went through. the issue started in 2015, well before I was a member of parliament, because I joined the parliament of Zimbabwe in 2018, and I was assigned to Pan-African Parliament in the same year. So when we arrived at Pan-African Parliament representing our country, there have always been issues to do with geographical rotation on in positions of leadership in the parliament itself. As such, in 2018, during the elections of 2018, there was a scuffle which was not published the same as this one, but there was a heated debate in line with geographical rotation in the position of the president. This is in line with the rules and policies of AU, which is our mother body. So at its inception, the East region was the president, which is in 2004. And it was followed by the Central region, which was Chad. And it was followed by Nigeria, which was the Western region. And then in 2015, an honorable member from Cameroon threw in his CV against the rotation policy, because the Central, where he comes from, had already led the parliament. But they negotiated their way in, and the fellow member became a president of Pan-African Parliament. 3 years later, in 2018, the same member threw in his CV. And this time around, they bullied their way, and they paid their way to come into the leadership position. And they negotiated again with the North and the South, which has never been in the leadership position at Pan-African Parliament. And they found their way in, and they've been president from 2018 to 2021. So this time around again, they came from the West with a lady candidate from Mali. And the East also threw in their CV with a candidate from South Sudan. This is against even letters that AU has written and instructions that has given to the parliament itself, to the secretariat, and to the rules committee, which deals with the screening of candidates. So regardless of the reminders from AU, regardless of the rules committee reports and recommendations, these two candidates threw in their CVs. And the elections were about to be conducted with these two candidates. So you may want to ask why.
I wanted to chime in there and
speak
just
out
say,
and play a role of blocking the election.
yes, I wanted to ask that question, that why then did you block the election, and what happened thereafter, what we saw, the scuffle?
Yeah, I'm trying to give you the background so that you may then understand why the scuffle.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so during elections, the elections are presided over by an ad hoc committee, which is constituted by 5 members that are appointed from the 5 regions. And I happened to be a member that was appointed to the ad hoc committee to preside over elections. So since we opened the parliament last week, the Southern Caucus, which is the Southern region, wrote letters to AU to complain about the other candidates that had submitted their CVs. And AU wrote again to the Secretariat to stop them from receiving and considering CVs from the candidates that were coming from the regions that had been in the presidential position. And as I was the one who was representing the Southern Caucus in the ad hoc committee, I tried to put this issue on the table so that the ad hoc committee would disqualify the other 2 candidates from the East and the West. But no one would have any of that. I was on my own fighting against the 4 people which came from the other regions.
Yes.
Including the representative from the north. Within that committee, he was siding with the east and the central and the west. So when we were in the plenary and the elections were about to start, I felt compelled to block those elections because they were illegal, they were smeared with corruption, they were smeared with a number of things that would disqualify even the candidates themselves besides the geographical rotation. Mali had already gone into another second coup. And as I'm speaking to you on the second day of our scuffle, Mali got disqualified by AU. So I didn't feel that Mali candidate was supposed to be participating in the election, regardless of even the rotational policy. South Sudan, the candidate from South Sudan, was against the rules and procedures of swearing in candidates at Pan-African Parliament, whereby an honorable member should have been sworn in their own parliament and then appointed by their parliament to the Pan-African Parliament. But the honorable member who was competing for the seat of the president has not been sworn in by his own parliament back home. He only brought a letter that was just appointing him to be representing South Sudan in the Pan-African Parliament, which is against the rules and procedures of Pan-African Parliament, because you should have been sworn in your own country and then appointed to Pan-African Parliament. So one would wonder to say, where was this honorable member sworn in Sudan while their parliament is closed? So regardless of the geographical rotation that was disqualifying them naturally, they also had issues from their own countries. So it was that moment when the clerk of parliament was now supposed to start the process that I felt compelled to block the election. And I went into action, and I understand that our fellow honorable members have been using intimidation and bullying and blocking to find their way out. So I just played their game, and I had other colleagues from Southern Caucasus like Honorable Julius Malema, Honorable Venani Makandri from Namibia, who then stood up together with me and fight against the conduct of the election.
So at the end of it all, what was the conclusion?
The conclusion is AU wrote on the second day to say, because on the second day we had another scuffle, so the AU had to write to the clerk of parliament to suspend the session and await another date to open the session and to conduct elections after the cleanup of the issues that are at stake.
Okay. Saka ndokubvunzai neshona tisati muende zvenyu kuti zvii zvakazoitika mushure mepatakaona imi makabata bhokisi remavhoti zvamira sei pari zvino kuparliament?
Okay. Pakaona ndakabata bhokisi remavhoti ndaidzivirira kuti maelections asaitwa nekuda kwokuti anga ari maelections anga ane injustice uye ari maelections anga asingatevereri mutemo weparliament yeAfrica. Saka ndaidzivirira kuti maelections iwayo asaenderere mberi nekuda kwokuti mamwe matunhu emuAfrica ari kuramba achitora chigaro cheupresident vachishandisa mari kubhadhira maMP, vachishandisa nzira dzakasiyana-siyana dzinosanganisira kudherera dzimwe nyika dzemaanglophone. Nekudaro ndaidzivirira izvozvo. Zvaitika izvozvo muzuva rechipiri taenderera mberi nekurwisana nevamwe kune mamwe matunhu isusu vekusouth nekunorth. AU zvinova ndizvo zvataida kuti zviitike. AU yakazonyora tsamba kuparliament ichipa direction yekuti timirai zvese zvamuri kuita, tigare pasi tiongorore pane nhau dzamuri kutaura dzirikutaurwa nevamwe vakukomplena vanova isusu vekuno kusouth nevekunorth. Kana tazogadzirisa nhau idzodzo tozoenderera mberi neparliament yedu. Saka parliament yakamba yavharwa musi wa1 June kusvika zuva ratichaudzwa neAU kuti tichienderera mberi nemaelections edu nefambisa basa redu parliament.
Aiwa, tinotenda chaizvo muzvare Barbara Rhodzi, tichadzoka kwamuri munguva inotevera, asi tinotendai kuti mapinda pachirongwa.
Masita, thank you very much.
Today we were hearing from Barbara Rodzi. She was on the phone with us. But let me now go back to Star, because Star, your guest, is now here. I hope you can hear me, Victress Matutu. Let's put you up, and I'm going to so that we can carry on with the program. Star, you can carry on.
If you, oh yes, and tell me, asizwa Victress?
Yeah, ngiyakuzwa manje.
Yeah, bese mangela ukuthi umuntu ozikhanyela kuhle emuhle njalo singabe lokho singamuzwa. Victress, we realize that you also, and yes, I think there's a delay, but uzabungisa. You are also an author. Yeah, if you can tell us what are your what's your latest work, and how is that going on?
Okay. Yes, as Victress Matutu, I am an author. I write both in English and isiNdebele. What I can say is that as a Zimbabwean living in South Africa, a writer trying to write here and just trying to just take my talent forward, living in a foreign country. It's not that easy. Let's say I'm writing in isiNdebele. I'm here in South Africa. If I want to sell my work, then it's something else, because there are a few people that can read isiNdebele here in South Africa. That means I'll have to be selling my work, my isiNdebele work, to the Ndebele people who are living here in South Africa, which is not a big market for my work. Even here in South Africa, I cannot take my novel written in isiNdebele to exclusive books or to publishing houses where they can publish and sell my book. They'll just tell me that there is no market for your book that you wrote in isiNdebele here. If it was maybe in Zimbabwe, then we'll try and publish your book and sell it for you, because there you've got the market for your language. Of course, the English one, I only wrote one English book. That was my first novel, Prison My Wake Up Call, that I wrote in 2016. I don't want to lie, I sold a lot of copies of that novel. The reason being that I was selling it to even a Zulu-speaking person, a Xhosa-speaking person, a Shona-speaking person, and anyone, because English is just an international language, anyone can read English. So that book, I sold a lot of copies of that book. My next book was in isiNdebele. I didn't sell as much as I sold Prison My Wake Up Call. My next book was Ubabonga Ngizali, which was written in isiNdebele. I did sell to those people who understand and read isiNdebele, but the market is not that big. The market is not that big. I also wrote another one, in 2019. I still thought, I can't be writing because writing is my talent. But at the end of the day, this talent must put food on the table for me and my kids. If I just write and I get nothing from writing, then what's the purpose of writing? As a writer, I must sit down and say, I'm not going to work. I'm just going to concentrate on writing, because writing is my talent. But I can't live on that. I can't live on that. Maybe if it was in Zimbabwe, I was going to live on that, because the market would be there and stuff like that. But here in South Africa, I don't have market for my work, especially in the novels.
Yes, but you can still sell some of your works in. You can still sell some of your works in your country, right? In Zimbabwe. Does it work that way?
Yes, I do. I can still sell some of my work in Zimbabwe, but with the situation in Zimbabwe now, let's say a copy. To print a copy, I print it maybe, let's say, 50 Rand or 55 Rand. And if I must get a profit, I'll have to sell it for double that price.
If I print it for 50 rand, I must maybe sell it for 100 rand for me to get profit. But if I take it to Zimbabwe, who's going to buy a novel for 100 rand? From where?
Okay.
People don't have money. They will love to read my work, but they don't have that money. I'll have to then take my book and sell it to home like at a cheaper price. Then at the end of the day, my reason for selling is not valid because I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be getting.
Yeah, what does singathi yona indikimba lapha amabhuku akho ubhala ngani into ezitholakala empilweni singathi lokho anathiwa ngesilungu i-fiction kumbe ubhala okwenzakalayo nje i-reality kuyini kahle kahle ubhala ngakho?
Ngicabanga ukuthi uma u-introduce lapha uTheo Victor Mathudu wezimimbokodo. Izimimbokodo yinhlangano ebhekela kakhulu abantu abangomama. Emsebenzini wami engiwenzayo, I don't leave that behind ukuthi I stand for abantu abangomama. Lokho emsebenzini yami eminingi engiyibhalayo ngibhala kakhulu ngibhekelele abantu abangomama. Kakhulu ngizama ukuthi ngibaqwashise izinto abahlangana lazo. Of course kusuka kuyi-fiction izinto engizibhalayo, kodwa iyi-fiction from amanye ama-true stories engiwathole ebantwini njengomuntu ohambe ekhuluma labomama. So ngiyathatha amanye ama-true stories ngihlanganise kube yi-fiction, but leya fiction ezayenza ukuthi uma ifika komunye umama owabhekana lesimo esinjengalesi engisibhalileyo, mhlawumbe kube lesixazululo sokuthi umama lowo into leyo okay uyabona ukuthi kubhalile lapha ekugcineni ugcine kusiprovakale kanje. Then into yami ukuthi mangibhala of course kuyi-fiction, kodwa uma kufika komunye umuntu kwenza i-difference ikakhulu kubomama. Okwamanje ngisaconcentrate kakhulu kubomama. Iphupho lami ukuthi ngibona omama bethuthuka, ngibona omama bengahlukumezeki. So imisebenzi yami yonke engiyibhalayo okwamanje ngisakele ukuthi nxa ifika phandle kumama efika kuye ifike yenza umehluko.
Yeah, ungasinika nje ngamafitshane izihloko zamabhuku obhala ngawo nje ubusufinqa ukuthi lona liyabe limayilana ngawo.
Okay, ngizaqala ngebhuku engiqale ngalo elesilungu elithi Prism Popcorn. Yi-fiction, kodwa i-fiction yangikhona ikhuluma umama obothwayo ayejele for icala engazange alenze. Ma ephuma lapho uzama ukuthi athole ngazo zonke indlela ukuthi kungani ebothiwe njalo kwenzakale kanjani ukuthi azabothwe ebothele icala angalenzanga. And umama lo ma ebothwe ushiya ingane zakhe, ma ifika phandle ingane zakhe azisekho, uba kwakusethethe ingane zakhe wazidayisa wazinikeza omunye umuntu. Ma efike ebuza ekhaya kula muntu owazi ukuthi ingane zakhe zayaphi. So into ehlangana labomama leyo. So uPrism Popcorn along those lines. Then kunebhuku lami lesibili elithi What Again Belungalula. Liyahlanganisa isithiwa lesindebele. That book is the gain of impilo yami. Impilo yami ezumama, not as Mathudu. Impilo yami ezumama. Impilo engiyiphilileyo ngingumama. What Again Belungalula. Isindebele kuhlanganele isithiwa. Then ibhuku lesithathu ubaba ongamzali lesindebele futhi nalo likhuluma njengoba ngishilo ukuthi ngizama ukuthi ngiqwashise omama phandle le. Likhuluma futhi ngomuntu ongumama layo ofika ohluphekayo lezi ngane zakhe agcine esekulela indoda yakhe ezivikela nale ngane zakhe ngoba indoda yadlula yena iphinde ibhekele abantu abangamantombazane. So egcineni ugcine kulele indoda leyana. Izinto ezifana nalezo. Then kusefuzole ukuthi ukwahlela ngokwasezulwini. Ngelinye futhi elikhuluma ngempilo kamama waseZimbabwe eSouth Africa ofike join into zezidakamizwa. Mayise join into zezidakamizwa uphila kanzima uphile baleka. So kuthatha umama oseZimbabwe ongayazi impilo ephilwa ngomama eSouth Africa kumbeke esithombeni ukuthi okay eSouth Africa umama bayahamba impela kodwa bafika baphila impilweni. And ngo-2020 ngicabangile ukuthi kukhona abantu abangasibalisi indebele. Ngadecide ukwenza i-CD, i-audio book, whereby ngizobe ngiyabala mina umuntu ongakwazi ukubala ovilaphayo ukubala can still buy i-audio book ababa ongamzali amamele nje just ukufaka i-CD uzimamelele. Kwenza lalo ongathandi ukubala la yiyo i-message le ngizama ukuthi ifike ebantwini ifike kuye wonke umuntu.
Yebo ke siyabonga kakhulu Marvelous, very interesting perspective from Victress Matutu with her books, Wake Up Call, Prison, My Wake Up Call, What a Journey, Ubabonga Nzali, Weshulela Ngobusezuli, Weshulela Ngobusezuli, and the city audiobook for those who are not enthusiasts in reading, should be reading there herself so that people can listen. And she's saying, since she's from Zemimbo, what about women? She makes sure a woman. Very interesting. Over to you.
Very interesting indeed. Tom, huenda kuna zvare loveness madzoka zvakare pachirongwa. Manga muri kutaura imimi kuti pane zvirongwa zvamuinazvo munguva inotevera, zvirongwa zvipi kuti vanhu vanogona kujoina kupi zvakadaro, nokuti tanguva yedu tasarwa nemaminiti mashomanana, saka mongoti gaga kuitira kuti vanhu vazive kuti vanokuwanai kuti.
Munogona kundiwana pa Facebook under Loveness Wesa, which is WESA, my last name. And zvirongwa zvandiri kuita, tiri kugadzirira festival. Please forgive the lady. Only way we can do what we were supposed to have done last year, tiri kuita via online Zoom platform. Vanhu vanouya vachionawo artist akangosiyana-siyana achiperforma. Vari kuperforma madance, masongs, poem, ne-visual arts, ne-fine arts. Tinoti artist ngaite ati rake achivideotape achitaura achitiudza kuti ati rake nderechi. But theme yedu i-love, peace and harmony, which is what I use kana ndichirapa vanhu, ndoshandisa love, peace and harmony. So all my life is around love, peace and harmony. So the festival is going to be launching hopefully in physical form next year, 2022, sorry. Yanga ichifanda kulauncha 2020 last year. Saka takazotangisa yedu kuita onlines in March this year. Saka tukuita every month. So we have a calling for artists. Chero vari kumamisha chaiko. Vanhu vari kuita vari kupenda dzimba dzavo zvichinaka, so zvinhu zvechivanhu zvedu zviye vanoita mabhasiketi avo toda kuona kuti muri kuita sei. You know, it's our art, that's our culture. We are proud of our culture. Let's showcase our culture. This festival covers all that. So we are calling for artists performing fine arts, visual arts, whatever chipo chawi nacho. Vamwe vari kuita zvimwe zvatisina mazita, but it's a creation yari kuita. You know, it's a chipo chako, so we are calling for that.
Ma-artist anenge ari kuda kupinda muchirongwa chenyu, mune WhatsApp number here, mobva maitaura kuti vanenge vada kutumira mavideo anotaura vatumire papi.
WhatsApp number ndiri kuAmerica, so unenge uchida kushandisa +1 and then wait a 971 224 9932 971. So totangisa +1 971 224 9932. Kana wakanganwa number ingonditswaga Loveness Wesa pa Facebook.
Aiwa, thank you so much, Loveness. So just tell us again where people can find you, especially those artists that want to send in their work, as you are giving a call out for people to bring in whatever it is that they're doing. Where can they find you?
That's a question again, right?
Yes.
Where can they find me? Okay, we've got website and we've got the best way and ndikuona ndekuti vanhu vanditsvage pa Facebook kana kuti pa WhatsApp yandapa iyoyo. Facebook Loveness Wesa. What was the question? Was that the question?
Yes, you got it right. You just said that people can look for you on Facebook under Loveness Wesa, and we've also given out a number for those artists that are interested in taking part in the program.
Yes, WhatsApp number.
Yes, so we will.
WhatsApp number +1 971 224 9932.
Okay, thank you, Star.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I wanted to say to Victress also, where can people find your books? Are they there online or they are just in physical bookstores in South Africa? And where can your CD audiobook be found?
I think it's easier for people to find me on my WhatsApp number, or you can contact me on 0027 0884-993-6981. Or on Facebook, I'm Victor Matutu, or you go to my right-hand corner, it's Victor Matutu corner.
Yes, before Matutu, there's another word. What is it?
Sorry?
Victor, what Matutu? You said Victor is something Matutu.
Okay, Victor Matutu. That's M-A and
Thank you very much. You are coming to the end of our show today. We thank our guests very much. We're saying thanks to you, Victor Matutu, an author in Isindebele and in English, for joining us. Victor Matutu of Zim in Bogoto. Over to you, Marvelous.
Yes, I would like to thank also Loveness Wesa, who has been here with us, telling us about her healing powers. We hope that next time, perhaps you can give us a demonstration, but thank you so much. And also would like to thank Barbara Arwozi, who was here on the phone with us, just telling us about the incident that happened at the Africa Parliament, where we saw her grabbing a box of for the votes. So she was explaining what happened thereafter. So thank you very much, everybody. Let's meet again next week here on the Women's Roundtable. I'm Marvelous Mhlanganya. We are in Washington.
Lami usithandekile Mhlanga sithi sidibaneni njalo ngeviki ezayo ngesikhathi esifanayo.
Thank you, Loveless.